My name is André Audet, and in this video we're going to be talking about the foundation of it all being goal setting. When you set out to do something, you need to make sure you have an absolute clear goal and a clear why behind it. When it comes to goal setting, I think there's two elements. There's an action-based goal. It's a goal inside of your control. It's I'm gonna train twice a day, 5 days a week for the next year. I'm gonna eat 4,000 calories. I'm gonna sleep 10 hours every night. There's the outcome-based goal. It's I want to make it to the CrossFit Games. And both of these goals, they work in synergy with each other. You need both of them in order to get to the final destination. One is very in your control and one is a little bit out of your control. When I think of these two goals, I imagine a fireplace. The wood and the base of the fire is the outcome-based goal. It's the thing that you do on a daily basis. It's the discipline. It's doing the small things. It's doing all the practical things, doing the sessions, doing the warm-ups, eating well, sleeping well, all of these things. The fire, that's the outcome-based goal. It's I want to make it to the CrossFit Games. It's the fire. It's the passion. It's all of the emotions. It's that excitement that, that gets you up a little earlier. It's the one that gets you pushing a little harder. It's the extra gear that you have when you need it. And both of them work in synergy with each other, and they're absolutely key in order for you to get where you want. So the first step for you is to set out what is your outcome-based goal and what's your action-based goal. It's what are the actions that are gonna take me to my dream. Write them down, super practical. Exactly how you imagine it. How is the day gonna be? If you struggle with this, another way to look at it is imagine a person that can achieve the goal that you set out to do. So if it was in my case, I would think, how does a person who can make it to the CrossFit Games live, in my perception? And I draw this person. I draw their daily schedule. I imagine exactly how they will be doing on a daily basis in order to get to this goal. And once I've done this imaginary drill, I now have what I believe to be the template in order to get myself there. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's an imaginary template of the person that I imagine I would need to be. It's the Andre 2.0 that I imagine I need to be in order to get to my dream. So that's another way of designing it. It's so essentially going from, forward thinking and backwards planning. When it comes to setting goals, the action-based goal and especially the outcome-based goal, my best advice is to keep them in your circle. Don't share them with anyone. This is your secret. I think too often athletes can tend to speak out too much of what their inner thoughts and inner dreams are. And even though I'm a big fan of setting out challenges, but there's a difference when you set out a challenge that is not, I'm gonna win the CrossFit Games, but instead, can I win the CrossFit Games? One is a statement and one is a challenge. And I recommend that when it comes to statements like, I want to make it to the CrossFit Games, which is your outcome-based goal, you keep that to yourself. This is your secret within your team. And by keeping it a secret, you force restraint on yourself, and restraint it requires discipline. And once it requires discipline and you're able to keep it secret inside of your team, you will feel even stronger about achieving it. An example would be an athlete that 3 months out of a competition says, I'm coming for them, I'm gonna show them how good I am, I'm gonna crush this competition. At this moment, I think all of the athletes are thinking this. But the ones that keep it in, they're gonna be the ones that show up and crush the others on game day. And the ones that are very bespoke about it, they're gonna fall apart when it comes down to it, and they stand in the corral together with all the other best guys and girls, and it's game time. And they have been yelling and they have been barking about their goal, and the others with the exact same goal and the exact same thoughts have been keeping them in. They have been restraining themselves from speaking them out loud to others outside of their team, which took discipline. And because they were able to do so, they are going to be able to really crush that event. They don't have those preset expectations, and they haven't spoken it out. They have kept it in, and now they're going to be ready to show it. So I think that's also just a super good reminder. Once you've determined what your goals are, the outcome-based goal and the action-based goal, you now create what most companies have, which is a KPI and the KBI. It's the key performance indicators that it's going to require for you to achieve your goal in your perception. And it's the key behavioral indicators that it's going to take to achieve this goal. And you make a list of them. All right, the KPIs. Perceived KPIs for me a couple of years ago would be run a 5K sub 18:30, back squat 210, snatch 135, 25 unbroken ring muscle ups, friendly friend, sub 4 minutes. These kind of like targets, these tangible benchmarks that if I can hit those, I believe that I'm fit enough to hit my target, to hit my goals. There's the KBIs. These are all the things that are not directly training related, but behavioral related. It's, I'm gonna make sure I don't watch TV right before bedtime, or I'm gonna make sure I don't drink coffee after 3 p.m. I'm gonna make sure I have more greens in my dinner. I'm gonna make sure that I go for a daily walk outside to get some sunlight. I make sure I put my supplements next to my toothbrush so I don't forget to take them. It's all the small things in the day that affects how training goes. Once you have a list of them, you now have the recipe that's gonna take you there. Or at least you have created what seems like a very controllable environment. So you know if you check these boxes, you will have set yourself up to be confident on game day. Because again, confidence comes not from nothing, it comes from something. And these are the things that would be something. It's very tangible, you can feel it and you can touch it. And you can always, when you're in doubt of yourself, look back and say, hey, I've hit my benchmarks, I've hit my KPIs for me to be ready. I've hit my KBIs for me to be ready. And so there's no reason to doubt myself. I hope that these drills can help make clear goals for yourself and also create the roadmap to achieve those goals in the end of the day.